Fred Davis here at the Burrill Digital Health Conference. I'm talking with Don Jones from Qualcomm. Hey Don, thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Fred. It's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Qualcomm and also the Wireless Life Sciences Association that you're involved with.
Yeah, so I run the wireless health group at Qualcomm. We work on integrating wireless technologies, which Qualcomm is a world leader in, into medical devices, into solutions that can tie up with monitoring solutions, tie up with pharmaceuticals and other applications in the healthcare world, which can be fitness related, can be sports related, can be consumer health related, or traditional healthcare.
Oh, that's great. Do you have some examples of cool things that you're working on, or that your products are embedded into?
Yeah, there's been a number of really interesting new releases out into the commercial world. One of them is a company called Great Connection. And Great Connection works with ultrasound machines from physician offices. And it makes it very, very simple for the physician to get the ultrasound onto a smartphone. And what that allows is expectant mom to leave with the baby's ultrasound on her phone before she's off the table.
Oh, wow.
And of course, that's a very popular option. And of all places, it's actually launched in Saudi Arabia, Sweden, and most recently it was launched in Egypt. Although in Egypt it was applied slightly differently. It was applied for a telemedicine program where technicians could go out to rural communities and have the pregnant mother's ultrasound sent back to Cairo so that they could be examined.
So for a telemedicine kind of an application?
Essentially a telemedicine application, as opposed to a consumer application like the first example.
No, I remember a few years back when a friend of mine's wife was really excited and had her ultrasound and was on that awful thermal paper and check it out. It's like,
well, what's really interesting here is once you get it on the phone, you can now Twitter and Facebook.
Right, send it to your family. It's your first child picture that you're able to share with your friends.
Share it out, and the interesting thing is some of the wireless telco operators, the carriers, have figured this out. This is an interesting application. A certain group of people are interested in it. They want to share those information. They want to be able to post the ultrasound pictures up, and they're actually looking at doing things like building baby stores around it, so that when grandma receives the ultrasound, she can also buy the teddy bear.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know that it's the first time that a mother gets to see the reality of her child, and so I know that's one of those kind of life highlight moments.
It's a fun app. This particular one is exciting because it actually has 3 different business models. It has the business model for this consumer app. It creates a virtual, what's called PAC system, or picture archival communication system, for ultrasound. So instead of the physician's office storing all these ultrasounds on DVDs, they now can have a cloud-based storage system that happens automatically. Just hit a button, it goes up in the storage, and everything's indexed and searchable.
Yeah, that helps sharing of the data.
And then you have this traditional telemedicine model that says I can send the lesser trained technician into the field to gather the images, and the specialist can see those images later.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And the whole cloud-based angle to this is fantastic because people don't have to worry about the physical storage and connectivity problems that they had in the past.
It's actually, I think, going to become one of the biggest markets in use of wireless in medicine, and that's the notion of moving medical images out of servers that are in the confines of a hospital and up to the cloud, and then allowing the physicians and other people that need to see the images access those images on whatever devices they have when they need access. So that may be on their radiology workstation, but it just as easily could be on their iPad or smartphone.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm with Kaiser, and they've done a good job of digitizing all their information and sharing that around, and it's actually been useful to me when they've pulled up old tests that I've had at another Kaiser facility or something like that. But it's a closed system that's only open to Kaiser. So I imagine one of the things that'll be happening is more open connectivity between care providers.
Yeah, we're certainly encouraging that. You had asked about the Wireless Life Sciences Alliance, and that really is the global industry trade group for the industry that's applying wireless technology into the healthcare and life sciences arenas. And I founded that 6 years ago, and I'm chairman today, but there's global participation by companies like Roche and Medtronic and Johnson & Johnson, who was actually a co-founder with us, along with some interesting companies that you wouldn't necessarily expect in the healthcare field, like Procter & Gamble. And so what we're seeing is an interest by the pharmaceutical industry, the medical device industry, the wireless carrier industry, the consumer electronics industry, the health insurer payer industry, and the healthcare provider industry. So it's a really interesting convergence of multiple players. And when we look at going into the regulatory environment and into the standards environment, we find entities like Continua, the Continua Health Alliance, which is working on interoperability standards, which is so important.
Right, that's what I, yeah.
What you were mentioning for, and Continua has that same kind of membership base. It cuts across all of those areas. Over 230 corporations from around the world are members because they want to find ways of making interoperability between not only traditional electronic medical records and hospital electronic health systems in hospitals, but also to consumer health products, so that the patient that's at home who may be using a wireless health product, that information can actually reach the doctor, reach the medical record, be shared with the appropriate personnel.
Don, I know a lot of your technology is embedded in cool gadgets, and I'm a gadget freak. So what are some of the fun gadgets that are also important in the healthcare industry that are based on wireless technology?
Let me give you two examples. One I think is fun because it takes elements that have been brought to commercialization in the consumers' experiences by companies like Amazon and products like Kindle. And that is a company called Vitality. And Vitality has launched a new pill bottle that has a glow cap. And the glow cap helps with compliance. You essentially pick up your drug from a pharmacy, and the pharmacist hands you a pill bottle and a nightlight. And essentially you get a free nightlight. And the instructions are, take this home, plug the nightlight in wherever you keep your pills, and now your pill bottle is going to help you make sure you take your pills when you're supposed to. What's really happening is the pill bottle has a little radio in it that's communicating with the nightlight, and the nightlight has a cell phone built into it, and that's actually putting your pill bottle on the internet.
Oh, wow.
And now your pill bottle will blink when it's time to take your pills. If you don't open it, it will chirp. If you still don't open it, it'll cause your phone to ring you and remind you. And then as you're kind of pouring the last few pills out, and they're kind of rattling around in the bottom of the container, and you realize you need some more, the reorder button for more pills is right under the cap.
So you can just press the button and get that.
And get them sent to you, a mail order. So there's a convenience factor. And one nightlight can handle multiple pill bottles. So you can have a very simple, relatively inexpensive system that's actually going to be paid for by the pharmaceutical firms who want to make sure you are compliant with your medications as prescribed by your physician. So that one's kind of fun, and it highlights this notion of being able to have convenient and having that, what we call personal supply chain management, or that notion that you can literally, at the very moment you realize you need some more, you can say, I want some more.
And the multiple points of contact out of a simple device, being able to reorder, to get alerts, it's a message on your phone, it integrates devices through the net without having to actually have those physical connections.
Yeah, I like to think what's happening here is the devices in your life are becoming proactive in helping you. If you think about your experience with your computer, which is really where most people have had a lot of their background experience, that's actually fairly passive and essentially what we would call a pull technology, meaning you have to make a conscious decision to go to your desk, fire up the computer, go to a website, click through lots of buttons, and finally get to the thing you predetermined you need to get to. Whereas what I'm talking about here are examples where you just go about your life and something happens to prompt you to do what you need to do, and you didn't really have to think about it.
Yeah, the computer's transparent. It's hidden into the works of the fabric of the device, and
exactly,
yeah.
And into the cloud in terms of making things happen kind of passively and transparently to you.
And the simplicity is great. I mean, everybody has problems taking meds on time and remembering it, but I can imagine, especially with like elder care and things like that, where there might be some issues with memory loss and things like that, it could be very, very important to keep people on their schedules.
I have one more that's really kind of fun. It's in what we like to refer to as wireless sex. It's actually a fertility product. It's for couples that are having trouble getting pregnant. So this actually has a very innovative little sensor that the woman wears under her arm, and it's a combination of sensors in there, and it's essentially measuring core temperature. And it doesn't have anything invasive to it, and that's really kind of an interesting piece of science breakthrough. But taking that information and then onto a little handheld receiver, which is wireless to the sensor, the couple actually now gets notified of effectively when it's time to conceive. It can be actually used in the reverse order as well. You could prevent conception by timing, kind of applying science to the old-fashioned rhythm method. But here's an interesting piece of technology, wireless embedded, assisting in a fairly common problem and with a go-to-market strategy, it's been in the UK where it's offers a money-back guarantee. In other words, you buy the product. If you don't get pregnant, you get your money back.
That's great. Yeah, I know that's for many couples, that's a serious concern and something that they struggle with. And most of the solutions are pretty expensive. In vitro or something like that is a very expensive procedure and often isn't covered by insurance. So how much are these things?
Looks like the price tag here is about £500, which makes it probably in the neighborhood of about $750 by US dollars nature. But with a money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, and the importance of having a child to a couple is worth far more than that.
Well, especially when you put that in front of taking on, say, injections or going all the way to in vitro fertilization, both of which are much more expensive
and invasive.
And invasive.
So, yeah, that sounds like a cool gadget. There's like a world of neat stuff. I always love seeing those innovative things. So the temperature monitor basically is a wireless connection to the device?
Correct. It's a small little disc about the size of a nickel. It's covered with kind of a silicone product and just through a special adhesive just applies right under the underarm, be comfortably worn. Very, very simple approach. And that's really what we look for in wireless products. Simple, inexpensive, taking advantage and leveraging the world of the consumer electronics industry and volume. And then we look at how do we take advantage of the cellular network operators, which effectively operate the world's largest utility in terms of providing a wireless network, and say how can we leverage that distribution system and that utility of a wireless network in a way to create less expensive ways of delivering health care and helping consumers manage their own health.
Right, the intelligence doesn't have to be in every device now. You can just have sensors and communication and have the intelligence somewhere else communicating with the devices. I think
that's part of the beauty of it. It's part of the way to help reduce costs, and it's part of the way of actually making the systems work even smarter.
Yeah, I mean, these are things we've been dreaming about for years, and it's really fun to sort of see some of these things come to fruition and be in reality. And also, people think about the electronics revolution, but one of the things I've always felt is there's a sensor revolution going on now where sensors are becoming much less expensive as well as the wireless thing. So that's probably a very synergistic.
It's a sensor revolution today. It's going to be quickly followed by an analytics and predictive modeling revolution. So the mathematicians are going to step in here.
And look at what the sensors, the data the sensors are retrieving.
Absolutely. And that predictive modeling, that ability for the system to kind of give you advice about what to do next is really what the beauty of all of that's going to turn down to.
What's the part of this business that's the most exciting to you personally?
You know, I get to see a lot of companies, a lot of business models from all over the world. It's really interesting to bring new solutions into the market that are connected, that bring new business models into the market. And really, I think if there's one key thing, it's bringing solutions to the consumer that helps them manage their own health and kind of breaks the tradition of saying we have to turn to the expensive hospital or physician system every time in order to manage our own health. If we can arm people with the right information, the right kind at the right time, so they can help be better participants in managing and maintaining and improving their own health, obviously we have a lot to gain out of that individually and as a society. And then at the same time, can we bring some of those same technologies and help improve the efficiency of the hospitals and physician systems? We need as societies to be able to do that as well. So that's the excitement, is being able to do all of that across many, many, many different kinds of companies, whether they be pharmaceutical, medical device, fitness, etc.
Yeah, consumer electronics or digital products in general are one of the few things in life that get more powerful and less expensive at the same time, when usually it's the other way around. So it sounds like, to sum it up, we could take a twist on an old slogan, it's better living through wireless.
Yes, I think that's probably a good way to put it, and certainly how my team enjoys spending their time with all these companies, helping them create good solutions.
Well, hey Don, thanks for being with us today, and good luck with your mission. It sounds like a really great one.
Thank you very much.